Do you want to lose a significant amount of weight, but you don't love living in the gym? Have you exercised to lose weight before, but eventually your body gets tired and achy, you burn out, you stop, and then the results disappear? If you have ever wondered whether or not you could lose a significant amount of weight and keep it off without excessive exercise, then the answer is yes. And you're in luck, because that's what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm going to be sharing the one hack I use to lose over 60 pounds and to keep it off without excessive exercise. Okay, hello, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Concita Thomas. I'm a food and fitness strategist, and I help women over 40 lose 30 plus pounds and keep it off without diets and without excessive exercise. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video today. And one of the ways that I've discovered, I would say almost one of the most important ways that I've discovered to be able to get that amount of weight off and to keep it off for a very long time without living in the gym is to value sustainability over speed of results. And you may be thinking, wait, Concita, I definitely want results. What are you talking about, valuing sustainability over speed of results? Sit tight, I'm gonna explain. You're gonna still get results, but it's what you place higher on the priority list that's gonna make all the difference in the world when it comes to losing the weight, and not just losing it, but keeping it off. If you don't know my story, I struggled with my weight most of my adult life. That looked different at different times. Sometimes it looked like being overweight and it was obvious that I was struggling with my weight, but other times that looked like being in amazing physical shape. Visibly, you would not know that I was struggling. I had six-pack abs, but I was struggling because the way that I attained and was maintaining that physique was through excessive amounts of exercise, and it was not sustainable. So even though your girl was shredded, I was still struggling. What I learned, though, over time was that I did not have to do it that way. And when I valued sustainability over results, not only did I get the results and keep the results, I was able to keep going. Now, I know that's easier said than done, and you may be wondering like, okay, that sounds good, but Concita, logistically, what did that look like? I'm gonna tell you right now. The first thing that I did when I decided that I was gonna value sustainability over the speed of results was I adopted short, home-based workouts. That's right. I gave up being a gym rat. I used to be a gym rat. Everyone at the gym knew me, front desk people, all the regulars, they knew my name because I spent way too much time there. And when I decided that, you know what, if this is going to be a forever type thing, if I want forever results, I've got to find a way to execute even on my worst weeks, even on my worst days. And what that meant was setting up at that time a very small home gym. I didn't even have like, a big elaborate home gym, but just having a space where I could have some very basic workout equipment and really embracing short, full body workouts, metabolic workouts, very much like the ones that I give to my clients today. The reason why that was so important for me is because my workouts went from being an hour plus, 2-a-days, let's just be honest, to being 20 minutes every day. That was my regular workout, sometimes shorter. And what I call my marathon workout would be 30 minutes. And that didn't even happen every single week. When I made that change, I did not burn out. I was able to keep going, and I was able to execute even on the busiest of days. The second thing I did had to do with my nutrition. So I know this video is entitled, the hack that I use to lose the weight without excessive exercise. And I'm just going to put it out there. Your nutrition is going to matter. So all the short home-based, metabolic workouts in the world would not have helped me achieve this goal if I were just eating with reckless abandon. However, again, if you know my story, you know that I used to compete in figure bodybuilding type competitions. And what came along with that was very, very regimented nutrition. Almost like I used to call it my human chemistry experiment, because that's what it felt like. Everything was so precise, just like how things would be if you were doing a lab in chemistry, if you remember that from high school. Wow. Instead of doing that, when I decided that, okay, I need to be able to do this forever. Also, I made this shift after I had my first child. So I was like, you know what? I am nursing, I'm staying up at night as he grew up, and as I had, another child, I'm running around for all these activities. This cannot be a science experiment. This cannot be military precision if I'm going to continue to do this forever. So I focused on the basics, the basic nutrition principles, and I left all of the extra and all of the advanced stuff out. And this way of eating, you may have heard me call it figure-friendly eating. That's what I call it. As a matter of fact, I have a free download for you. It's complimentary right now. It's the figure-friendly checklist, and you can get that. It's linked in the description below, and it gives you an idea of this type of eating and how you could build meals in what I like to call a figure-friendly way. But what I mean by that is that I gave up with all of the super precise eating. I gave up the advanced strategies, the carb cycling, the nutrient timing my meals around my workout and only having certain types of meals before the workout and others after the workout. I gave up all of that complexity. And instead, I focused on the basics. I focused on, am I getting protein? Am I getting vegetables? Am I getting enough starch and fat to satisfy me during my meals? Am I getting the right portion sizes? I gave up calorie counting. I gave up all of that and really just focused in on the basics. And I've got to be honest, especially right after I had my first child, that also included daily sweet drinks from Starbucks, not the big ones, not the 400 calorie ones, but foods that I would have never included on a regular basis before. I was able to include, and not only did I get the weight off, I was able to keep it off because I was no longer in the clean eating Olympics, and I was no longer racing to the results. I was really settling in to a forever type lifestyle. The third thing I did was I moved more outside of my workouts. Remember I said I used to be a gym rat. I spent sometimes up to 25 hours a week, if you can believe that, in the gym, and I cut back down to 20-minute workouts. And you may be thinking, that's insane. How were you able to get any results? Well, I told you my first trick was using short, intense metabolic workouts, mostly resistance training. But then I started moving a lot more outside of my workout. And I don't mean exercise. Remember, I was a new mom. So I did things like take my son on a leisure walk, just, go outside, stop taking shortcuts in the house. So if I had to take something upstairs, not loading myself up and taking everything at once, but just being more active throughout the day, making it a point. And it was easy, at first when the baby was little, but making it a point to move more throughout the day and not sit for long periods of time. And I found that when I did that extra, it's called needs. And so it's not exercise activity. And so it has a metabolic effect, helps your body burn more calories without putting stress on your system. That was important. And I found that by doing that, I was just amazed how the weight was falling off, especially going from exercising up to 25 hours a week to 20-minute workouts, 5 to 6 times a week, and then just making it a point to walk and move more. But that was one way that I embraced sustainability over speed of results. The fourth thing I did, and I kind of alluded to this in another point, is I included my favorite foods daily. So I mentioned that lemonade from Starbucks. My husband used to get that for me almost every morning, especially when I first had the baby, and that went on for quite some time. And I don't do that today, but I do still to this day, and the baby is 13. To this day, I still do include my favorite foods daily. So if you follow me over on Instagram, you may see in my stories, you may see things like a salad with a side of French fries, or you may see things like, like my dessert, which is a couple of chocolate peanut butter cups. You may see me sharing that stuff all the time. And why do I do that? It's because I want to share that, hey, I am doing this, and you also can do this. You do not have to give up your favorite foods to lose weight. And as a matter of fact, you don't have to save them for a cheat meal or a cheat day. That could be a whole nother video. I've got more where that came from, but before I share my last tip, let me know, what do you do in order to value sustainability over speed of results? What do you do with your food or your exercise to keep yourself in the game so that you don't burn out and quit? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, now the fifth and final thing that I did was I paid attention. And you may be saying, paid attention to what, Concita? Your food? To your movement? No, I paid attention to how much more expansive my life felt. Why was this important? It was important because you heard me say I used to compete in bodybuilding. I used to exercise up to 25 hours in a week. Your girl knows how to drop a lot of weight in a little bit of time. And if I were going to embrace this new way of being as a lifestyle, if this was something that was going to last for a long time, I was going to have to look for motivation outside of results, outside of how quickly my results were coming. And one place that I found that motivation was really noticing and embracing how much more expansive my life felt. Noticing how good it felt to say yes to my husband to go on a spontaneous date. Noticing how good it felt to not pick apart every single dish that I ordered when I ordered it from the waiter because I'm trying to stay under a certain calorie count. How good it felt to, have time to snuggle up and watch movies because I wasn't spending excessive amounts of time at the gym. So when I paid attention to those things, along with how good my body felt, along with the fact that I was actually getting results, the temptation to jump back to the other side, to jump back to the quick fix, was really greatly reduced. I would dare say negligible, because not only was I getting benefits in terms of results, not only was I looking forward to the results that were coming, I was getting benefit every single day. That was my immediate gratification hack, to just notice the immediate gratification that I was getting, and it was in terms of my life feeling way more expansive. So there you have it. That was my hack. That was how I lost 60 plus pounds and kept it off without excessive exercise, and just the practical ways that I was able to implement that hack. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, hit the notification. And if you can't wait to connect again on my next video that drops weekly, then go ahead and connect with me over on Instagram, or even if you want to, listen to more of my thoughts around this topic, you can check out my podcast, which is on iTunes and several other places that will be linked below. And if you yourself are on a journey, you're a woman over 40, you want to lose 30 plus pounds and you want to keep it off, and you want support and guidance in order to implement what you just heard about, what I did in this video, then I encourage you to check out my signature program. It's Get It Off, Keep It Off one-on-one coaching. It is a very high touch program. It is how I guide women like you through the process of implementing what I have, the same strategies and the same mindset shifts that I had to make in order to lose that weight and to keep it off in a sustainable and enjoyable way. And I will link to that below as well. So when you go to the Get It Off, Keep It Off information page, if we're in an enrollment season, you'll be able to apply right away. If not, still put your name on the wait list, because when you do, what happens is you're notified whenever a spot becomes available in between enrollment periods, and you also get first dibs at spots when enrollment is open again. So that's all I have for you today, Fierce Friend. Until next time, stay fierce.